Hello and welcome to the Commander's Quarters, your Magic the Gathering source that helps you command your budget. This show and episodes like this one are possible thanks to viewers like you. If you're looking for an easy way to help support this show, make sure that you like, share, and subscribe. Also, hit that bell notification icon so you don't miss any new episodes. You can also go check out our playmats and other merchandise at thecommandersquarters.com. Another easy way to support this show is with our TCG player affiliate links. So whether you're buying a deck or individual cards, you can use this general link right here or one in the description. And the final way that you can support this show is by supporting us directly by becoming a patron. There are many benefits to being a patron, and I truly couldn't do this without all their support. Hey everyone, Mitch coming in from the Commander's Quarters studio. Welcome to the show. Today's Break the Bank comes to you courtesy of Steven, who's been supporting this channel as a Golden Pig tier patron. I truly couldn't do this without the support from amazing patrons like Steven, so again, Steven, thank you so much. Now, because this is a Break the Bank, if you haven't already seen the deck tech, make sure you watch that one first. In that deck tech, I talk about how the deck actually works, the strategy, how you're going to win, and a lot of the important cards. In this episode, I'm going to focus on the upgrades for that deck, so again, if you haven't seen that one, please go check that out first. With all that said though, let's jump into it. So the first category that I want to focus on for my upgrades is ramp. And obviously the first piece of ramp that I'm going to upgrade this deck with is Wayfarer's Bauble. It's essentially turn 2 land ramp for any color, so yeah, there's a reason I'm a big fan of it. And of course, a hyper-efficient mana rock like Sol Ring is definitely a great include as well. Paying just 1 mana to tap for 2 is absurd to say the least. But we're going to continue to upgrade more of our ramp package with cards that aren't nearly as efficient as that, but still very efficient. For example, Arcane Signet costs 2 and can tap for either our colors. And then Talisman of Dominance also costs 2 and can tap for colorless, or can tap for either our colors but deals 1 damage to us. Ramping on turn 2 is crucial in Commander, and these are fantastic ways to ramp. On top of ramping us, they fix our mana, though at a small cost from Talisman of Dominance. Again, 1 damage isn't a big deal. Next up, we've got some even bigger mana rocks, though, with Worn Power Stone, Basalt Monolith, and Gilded Lotus. Worn Power Stone costs 3, enters battlefield tapped, and taps for 2. Basalt Monolith costs 3, doesn't untap during our untap step, but it taps for 3, and we can pay 3 to untap it. And then Gilded Lotus costs 5, it can tap for 3 mana of any one color. Ramping quickly and efficiently is going to be key in getting our commanders out early. And then staying well ahead on ramp is going to be crucial to recast Sengir if he ever gets dealt with. And finally, let's add in Nyx Lotus, a legendary artifact for 4. It enters battlefield tap, but we can tap it and choose a color and add an amount of mana of that color equal to our devotion to that color. Although this isn't a monocolor deck, the vast majority of our permanents are black, so this can easily add us a good or even absurd amount of mana once we get going. Again, casting our commanders quickly and being able to recast them is huge for this deck. Now, this deck is all about death and taking out creatures, and there are a few things that are more effective at taking out a ton of creatures throughout the game than Archfiend of Depravity. It's a 5/4 flying demon for 3 black, and it says at the beginning of each opponent's end step, that player chooses up to 2 creatures they control, then they sacrifice the rest. This can demolish our opponent's armies in absolutely no time. At the end of each of their turns, they have to go down to 2 creatures. This makes our future edict effects even more effective since, again, they don't really have many options at that point. This can help control the board and grow our commander incredibly quickly. Speaking of growing our commander quickly, there's Blade of the Blood Chief. It's an equipment for 1 and it costs 1 to equip, and it says whenever a creature dies, put a ++1 counter on equipped creature, but if equipped creature is a vampire, put 2 ++1 counters on it instead. Luckily for us, Sengir is a vampire, so yeah, basically this doubles up Sengir's effect. Every single time a creature dies, Sengir is getting 4 ++1 counters on him. With this on Sengir, it takes 5 creatures dying for him to become a one-shot kill. Also, let's upgrade this deck with Cauldron of Souls, which is a fantastic repeatable way to protect our commander. It's an artifact for 5, and we can tap it and choose any number of target creatures. Each of those creatures gains persist until end of turn. So essentially, when that creature dies, if it had no -1/-1 counters on it, it comes back into play with a -1/-1 counter on it. So first off, again, this works perfectly with our commander. If Sengir is about to die, he comes back into play, but with a -1/-1 counter on him. But we can easily get that -1/-1 counter off of him by just gaining 1 +1/-1 counter. And again, any creature dying will do that and more. On top of that, this works great with any of our other creatures that have ETBs. Whether that's making tokens or being an edict effect themselves, they can be great with this kind of effect. Now we can upgrade some of our finishers too, like adding in Grafted Exoskeleton. It's an equipment for 4 and it costs 2 to equip, and it says equipped creature has +2/+2 and has Infect, but whenever it becomes unattached from a permanent, sacrifice that permanent. So there is a risk with attaching this to our commander, but it also turns our commander into a one-shot kill incredibly easily. Sengir is already a 4/4, and this makes him into a 6/6, so yeah, it just takes 2 creatures dying to make him into a 10/10. 10 poison counters is all it takes to take an opponent out, and that's incredibly easy with this. Another fantastic and really fun way to take players out though is with Sanguine Bond. It's an enchantment for 3 black, and it says whenever you gain life, target opponent loses that much life. Again, Sengir says whenever another player loses the game, you gain life equal to that player's life total as the turn began. So essentially with this, we've got the opportunity to take out 2 players in just one swing. Someone might be at 40 life, but 21 commander damage is 21 commander damage. So we kill that player with commander damage, then we gain 40 life, and then we drain out another opponent. This can be a really effective way to take someone out even if they've got defenses up. And finally, let's upgrade some of our land package with Clearwater Pathway, Underground River, and Temple of Deceit. Clearwater Pathway is one of the pathway lands, so we can choose either the side that adds blue or the side that adds black. And then Underground River can tap for either a colorless or one of our colors, but it deals 1 damage to us. Temple of Deceit might enter the battlefield tapped, but it can tap for either our colors, and when it comes into play, we scry 1. And finally, let's upgrade 3 more of our lands with Drowned Catacomb, Sunken Hollow, and Watery Grave. All 3 are going to tap for either of our colors, and they have the opportunity to come into play untapped. Drowned Catacomb enters the battlefield tapped unless we control an island or a swamp. Sunken Hollow enters the battlefield tapped unless we control 2 or more basic lands. And as Watery Grave enters the battlefield, we can pay 2 life, and if we don't, it enters the battlefield tapped. Although lands might not be the most exciting of things to upgrade, it is important to upgrade them to make your deck more efficient and to make it more consistent. So at larger budgets, upgraded lands, though more expensive, are definitely a consideration that you want to take into account. And at a $100 budget, as you can see, there are plenty of effective lands for us to consider. If you're looking to play this deck, consider joining the amazing PlayEDH Discord. It's a great way to play Commander over webcam. In the description below, you'll find their Discord invite link as well as the tier that this deck has been approved at next to the deck list. So if you want to pick it up and play it as is, you can, and be sure to read their welcome information for more details. And with that, the show is coming to a close, so it's my turn to hear from you. So in the comments below, let me know what your thoughts on this episode are, and as always, thanks again and have a good one.